We're going to explain why the Panama Canal is so important. The Panama Canal, before the Panama Canal, in order to get goods shipped from, say, the east coast of the Americas to the west coast of the Americas, for example, say, and this was very important in the day, back when the gold rush hit California, they needed to be able to get that gold from the west coast to the east coast in short order in order to, well, because all of the economic centers were on the East Coast. So what would happen is they would try sending some across the terrain, which proved to be very problematic. Going across the Rockies, going across the Mississippi River, all of these things proved to be, and gold, of course, is incredibly heavy. If you've got vast amounts of gold, there is a lot of weight to it. So what they would have to do is they would have to load this gold on ships. And in order to get it from the west coast of California to the east coast, whether it be Florida or even New York City, they would have to travel and do transoceanic shipping all the way down past the very southern point of South America, all the way back up the coast and to their destination. Now, this is a trek of something like 8,000 miles and can literally take 3 to 4 plus weeks in order to get accomplished, depending on the size of the ship, depending on how fast they could go. It was literally weeks of travel. Not only that, but down on the southern tip of South America, the oceans can be incredibly rough. So that transoceanic travel proved to be very hostile, very dangerous, and a lot was lost, a lot. So they decided that it might be a good idea to try and build a canal in the smallest section of the Americas, which happened to be in Panama. Now, the first time they tried to do this was they began in 1880, and this was an attempt by the French. The French tried to create a sea-level canal, much like they had done with the Suez Canal, which is still in operation today. The problem is that in 1889, the French pulled up the white flag of surrender, as they are well known for doing, and gave up and abandoned their efforts in order to build the canal. Well, in 1901, there was the Hay-Ponce-Forte Treaty, and this was allowed the United States to build its own canal. In 1902, the Senate approves building the canal through Panama. Isn't it nice that the Senate or any Congress actually did something for the benefit of America rather than just taking money from us? And it was a huge benefit, and we'll get to that momentarily. So in 1904, construction began on the Panama Canal, and over the course of the next 10 years, between 1904 and 1914, the canal was constructed. And the way they did it was they created locks. And these locks, what they do is they build basically concrete structures that they allow ships to pull into, and then they raise the water level to match the water level of the next area they need to go to, because Panama is rather hilly and was problematic to just dig through all that in order to create a canal. So they did it in the form of locks to where they could move through. And in the course of 8 to 10 hours, a ship traveling from east to west, west to east, was able to traverse the Panama Canal and get to the other side and able to get to their destination. And again, this saved literal weeks of travel, saving on fuel, saving on lives because of the dangers involved in the transoceanic travel down past the southern point of South America.